Oh, so much exciting stuff in these few weeks. Alright, hello Hacksters, welcome to Monday. We've got a cool new package in the office. I'm really excited about this one. I've been waiting for it for a while now. I am not sure exactly how long, but shipping from the UK has taken a while to get to San Francisco, and today's the day. So exciting. I love making with these guys, little microbit boards. They have two little input buttons, LED grid, etc. We'll get into that later. If you're not already familiar, this is a package from Pimoroni, which stands for Pirate Monkey Robot Ninja. If you're not familiar, it's a little bit of maker trivia for you. I didn't know that until fairly recently. Yeah, and it is this object, the Servo Lite board from Kitronik. Now the reason that I ordered it from Pimoroni is because shipping to the US was faster and cheaper than it was directly from Kitronik. But depending on where you live, that may be different. So I recommend checking out both sites, and they have it for the exact same price. So over here you've got, including VAT, it's £11.40. Same thing on Pimoroni, $11.40. They've got 5 in stock over there. I bought 3, I think, because I want to make lots of stuff. So yeah, we're gonna open these up and take a look. Oh, it's finally that day. It's like that gif of the guy going, "It's happening." Pardon me, I mean, Jaif. Whatever your preferred pronunciation is, I feel like that guy right now. Yes. Oh wait, I don't need the pliers, I need the knife. Because I'm impatient, and there's no way that I'm messing and fiddling around with a bunch of tape in order to get this. What? How is, what? Oh. Straight down the middle, that's where the seam is. I guess I could take this piece of paper out. Made with oxo-degradable film. Cool. That's exciting. That's the envelope itself, not the Kitronik pieces. All right. Always cut away from yourself when you're using a knife. Knife Safety 101. I actually took a Knife Safety 101 class at a maker fair years and years ago. Oh yeah! Here we go. 3 beautiful little bags with the Pimoroni. Well, this one has the Pimoroni logo on it. The other ones have the regular standard, just plain anti-ESD bags with some kind of heat seal. Let's get that open. Oh, yes. Oh, so exciting. Get moving. Okay, so these are listed as, look at that, cool. I wonder how you connect it. Oh, probably with these screws, duh. Yeah, we've got some more screws over here. Let's see if we can get everything in one shot. And if I can get some better focus now that we're up close. Yes, cool. Whoop, there we go. Yeah, so we've got 5 LEDs. They call them zip LEDs here. They look to me, and the way they work suggests to me that they're similar to NeoPixels, but they call them zip LEDs. We'll get to that. These two must be connecting the batteries on. Yep. Where do the batteries actually connect? To the board. Is that actually how they connect? No, here's one side. I have no idea. It appears to be hidden. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to attach some AAAs, which I may or may not actually have in the office. I'll be so infuriated if that stops us from doing stuff today. But at the very least, we'll be able to. I wonder if I can get voltage. See, the thing is that I don't usually try to drive my motors from the same power source as the microbit, for example. So even if this thing can run off of the voltage from the microbit, I don't want to do that. And so I want to have a separate battery source, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so Servo 1, Servo 2, Servo 3, link for Servo 3, pixel extension, I'm assuming. And there's a little hack that you can do. There's like a getting started tutorial for these, and then there's also a little hack where the thing is set up by default to run 2 servos, but you can make it run 3 if you disable the LEDs. That's what makes me think that these are similar to NeoPixels, because NeoPixels and servos both take 3 wires, power, ground, and data, and the data is what tells the NeoPixels how to shine or the servo how to move. Yeah, and so I'm assuming that if you can either run these off of your third control line or run another servo, that's probably the deal. Okay, so let's, before I try and hook up a microbit to this, I am going to take a look at the instructions. So let's pull those up. We've got Kitronik's guides, getting started with the servo light board. So this thing is designed to be for the Move Mini. The Move Mini is a little robot designed by Kitronik. That's designed to be quite friendly. Look at this. Look at these guys. Little cute robots. Who doesn't love those? You got sumo bots, you've got different types of add-ons for the bot, you've got a little bulldozer add-on, you've got, here's the buggy kit. So cute. Oh, you've got 2 wheels, which I'm assuming are the servos in this case, and then you've also got the lights going, and you've got your tiny little microbit on the front, so you can put little faces on it or whatever. You could have it show like a little heart, you could have it show a little eye rolling around, you could have it do any kinds of stuff that you can do. Oh, so good. Little arrows. You can control these wirelessly. You can use one microbit as a remote to control the other one if you want. Yeah, all kinds of cool options. So yeah, that's the Move Mini. It's designed to be used with that, but you can use it on its own, and I looked for this because I was seeking a simple board that would be small, that could run servos and touch the microbit for companion robots, because I want to make a standard, easy to use and easy for people to understand, but very upgradable control system for companion robots that you can adapt to whatever design you want. And indeed, in this Getting Started guide, oh great, that's what I was looking for a second ago, and they have these coding guides that use Microsoft Make Code, which is a great drag and drop programming interface that enables you to easily create programs for your little robot to use without knowing how to code. But also, at the top of this window here, sorry for all the glitching, I don't know why my browser's doing that. At the top of the window, you notice this little slider right there that lets you switch between the block code editor and JavaScript. And if you change this, it won't let me drag it apart, but maybe I can edit it. I can't. Okay, I guess this is read-only, but I can click the little edit button and go right into editing if I want. I can drag this around. I can set the brightness to 50, and the JavaScript will update as well if I set it back to, or if I set it to 75. Oh, interesting, that's misspelled. Huh. Then it updates on the block as well. Interesting. Why is it spelled brightness here, but it's spelled brightness here, but it still works? That's very strange. Cool though. Anyway, so we have this Getting Started guide, and we're going to try and do something real simple with it, with the servos. And I'm just going to use 2 servos for now, but I'm very excited that, as is implied by the fact that this has 2 wheels on it, and it's controlling servos, that implies to me that they're using continuously rotatable servos like this guy, which can go around and around and around and around, as opposed to the other type of servos, which can only go from 0 to 180 degrees and sort of in between there and back again. Yeah, so that means that there's a lot of flexibility here. Cool. So I could make a rolling robot, but there's so many other cool ways to do that that it involves simple DC motors and stuff. So let's start hooking this up. We've got attaching a microbit to the servo light board. I wonder if it powers the microbit as well. Where has been designed some battery. Oh, there is a data sheet that has more information. Delightful. link these pads and cut on the reverse to use servo 3. And presumably that is the sort of toggle for using servo 3 versus the lights. So here you see there's these two pads, right? If you bridge those with solder, you should enable the third servo. And you would also have to cut this little connection between these two pads. Yeah, and that's probably what enables the data connection for the lights. And then if you want to reverse it, you would just cut that, or you would just resolder across there, and then you desolder this bridge, and then it goes back to being the lights again. Really nice. They noted on the page that they designed it specifically to make it really easy to swap back and forth between those two. So it's a really versatile board. Love it. I love that both the microbit and the Servo-Lite board have this design that, you know, you can stick with the basics. Pin 0, 1, 2, 3 volts and ground, or you can go a little further and start soldering onto these, or use a breakout board to enable these other little pins on here once you sort of know what you're doing. Same thing with the block code. You know, you can swap back and forth between the really simple block code editor and the JavaScript once you get more comfortable with using code itself. So this whole ecosystem is marvelous. Let's get started. I'm going to attach this on top of the other thing as it tells me to. So what do? We put the little spacer bar in first. Let's get this open. And yeah, so first the spacer, then the microbit, and then we put the little screws or bolts on top. Now, somebody showed me this. Okay, there we go. Is that gonna work? It feels like there's a little bit of conflict here between the batteries and the LED there. I'm gonna see if I'm curious about whether you can just straight up power the microbit off of this. It's 3 AAA batteries, which means 4.5 volts. All double and AAA batteries that I've ever found anyway are 1.5 volts, which means that 3 of them is 4.5 volts. Which is pretty close to the standard 5 volts of USB that the microbit will definitely take through its USB port. What did I just scratched myself on something there. Come here, screwdriver. Oh, got another one. Here we go. Put one in there to kind of hold everything down. I rotated the screw to the left a little bit first to make sure that the screw was properly seated in its threads, and then once you feel it sort of sink into place, then you can screw it in all the way to the right. Do the same thing again. There we go. Did you hear that click at all? I'll do it again. I'm turning the screwdriver to the left until I hear it seat down into that threading, and then I can, now that I've sort of swung those into place, I can put the rest of these in. Probably don't want to go too tight with this, although the plastic buffer gives us a little bit of room to maneuver, a little bit of forgiveness. You can also just start screwing in, but I think it's easier. Why is this one not going? Huh. Oh, there we are. I think you want to have a little bit of play in these just so that it can easily, because not everything is always perfectly aligned, and so then you have stuff in the middle that's kind of like, oh, I need some wiggle room. There we go. Not too tight. Plenty of contact though. These screws have these conical bottoms so that they will seat into those metal holes on the microbit and make a good contact. Cool! It's very compact. This is exactly what I was looking for. You even got some expressive little LEDs so you could do little moods and stuff. Ah, how cute! And about this, you should have enough space to plug in a micro USB cord, but it might depend on the cable. Also, you've got this on-off switch right here. And then you've also got the microbits power supply, which kind of conflicts there. You see how the battery connector has a little bit of a nubbin on it that slots into a slot on the battery connector over here, the JST connector here. And so that kind of conflicts with that LED there. But I think it should work. We'll see. I might have to look at some of the images of this robot in action. So let's go back to the info page. It looks like the microbit is just supposed to take... See, there's nothing going on in the LEDs in this picture. But it kind of looks like the microbit is supposed to just feed off of the Kitronik kit. And I'm guessing you can put 3 volts in and the ground connection, and that'll run the robot. Let's see. Where's a little... Let's look for a video with this. Kitronik Move Mini. What does it look like when this thing is actually moving around? Okay, yeah. So they don't have a USB or JST connection for power on the microbit here. It's just clearly getting power from the battery pack attached to the Servo Lite board. That's great. That makes things easier. It does mean you might run through power slightly faster and have to replace the batteries fairly frequently, but I think it should be able to run pretty efficiently. Now here's the other question, is how is it attached to the buggy here? And, well, I'm not going to be building the buggy, but if I were, my concern would be how easy is it to attach and detach the microbit to the robot. And it looks like it's pretty easy. It probably like snaps in and out. Cool. And if you're curious about that, there is an assembly guide, probably a few of them on the internet. Sweet. So let's see what happens. Okay, so pin 0 is assigned to the LEDs. 1 is for the Servo 1, 2 is for Servo 2. That's pretty simple. Yeah, what are zip LEDs? What are they? WS2812? WS2811 or 2012 is what neopixels usually are. Oh, here we go. Zip LEDs. Individually addressable, RGB, controlled independently. Aha! Based on the WS2812B part, which is compatible with any WS2812B driver code. Okay, so it's basically the same as a NeoPixel. Neat. And you should be able to, maybe, they might have a slightly different protocol in terms of controlling them, is my guess. We'll find out. So here we are in our getting started guide. What I should do is find some AAA batteries, and first let's hook up some servos to it. Yeah, because I've definitely got some micro servos. Here we go. Okay, so got a number of different types here. Actually, one of these microbits already has some servos attached to it and a little speaker, but yeah, I was playing around with how you make code interact for servos and audio on the microbit, which can be a little complex. But let's just pick 2 of these. I'll do these 2 since they have the same color of wires. You'll note that one of these has plastic gears and one has metal. These can be nicer, they're a tiny bit heavier. Honestly, these are about the same. And so this is a Riorand MG90S microservo. This is a Tower Pro 9 gram SG90 servo. Okay, cool. Pretty. And let's plug these guys in. So they kind of hide the labels under there on the top pin here. So I'm going to put the brown ground wire on there. And is the other one also ground on top? Yes, that's nice. It says ground VCC sig, so ground voltage and signal. And we've hooked them both up here. And what I should do now is go find some AAA batteries. I wonder if I have any right here. I don't think so. I'm gonna run away for a second, and if I can't find any, we'll be back another day. But for now, this is pretty exciting in terms of a development, and I'm gonna leave this documentation window up for you to look at. Writing code to control the zip LEDs. Two things happened. First up, I managed to find another robot with 3 AAA's batteries in it and cannibalize them. And second up, it says, in order to write code for the microbit to control the zip LEDs on the servo light board, we need to open a browser and go to the make code editor. If you're going to create the code yourself, you'll need to add the NeoPixel functionality to the editor. Cool, great. So the LEDs are controlled the same way. This makes my life beautiful and easy. And we're gonna power this up and see what it does. Because my guess is maybe it does something, well, it wouldn't do anything right off the bat because I've probably got some other kind of programming on this microbit already. So we'll have to reprogram it. But the servos did a little twitch, which is positive. And this one doesn't have anything on it. Can I put this on? Yes, good. Cool, so now we've got, oh, there's no horn on this one either. Where shall I find a servo horn? There we go. Okay, so now both of these have little directional indicators. Fantastic. And maybe I would want to put put these on some kind of a mount, but no, not right now. Okay, let's start programming. So we're gonna open the make code editor. We've got the light control. Okay, so it's gonna do a little scanner thingamajig. Pixels by 1. Can I do another thing where we, what kind of a loop is this? NeoPixel, duh. Shift or rotate. What is shift versus rotate? What happens? Well, we'll find out. What I'm going to do is save this and download it, which creates a hex file that goes onto my computer. Save file. And now I need to find a micro USB cable, which usually is extremely easy. Here we go. And hook it up to that microbit, and then it'll show up as a flash drive on my computer. Oh, this way. You can't even see that. Here we go. Okay, so this is going to show up as a flash drive on my computer, provided that I can actually get it in there, which, okay, good. If I couldn't program it while it's attached to the servo board, that would be a huge pain and kind of counterintuitive. But I can, so that's good. Okay, so now that's plugged in. I'm curious what it's going to do. Are you going to do anything? Oh, okay, so I had a little... Whoa. Oh, I know what this was. This is like a Pomodoro productivity timer thingamajig that I was testing, so I had it like 10 times speed. Cool. Well, now it's going to be a robot. Let's go back here. I've got this file that we just downloaded, which is a .hex file. I'm dropping it onto the microbit that shows up as a flash device, flash drive, and now it's doing a little amber blinky thing as it uploads. Hey, look at that! Easy. That was simple. Let's get some servos running. Oh, this is so cool. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh. All right. Back to programming. In the Getting Started guide, they have another piece of code that shows you how to control 2 servos. Let's hit edit again. And yeah, if button A is pressed, then pause for a second and send the servos to 180 degrees. If button B is pressed, pause again. I'm not sure why the pause. Why would you not just pause after you write to the servos? I don't know. Maybe there's some weird timing things there. And then write them to 0. There, now you can see a little bit better. And we can add some more stuff if we want. We could even combine it with the other code. Oh boy. On start set, can I copy this and paste it into the other window? Probably not, but maybe. Can I? No, sadly. But you know what I can do? I can swap it over to JavaScript. Uh-oh. Why could I not convert it to Java? There we go. Okay. Well, first let's run this. Okay, we're going to save this as simple movement, download it to my computer, drag it to the flash device, and move everything around so that nothing's going to be on top of each other. And once this uploads, that LED should be, oh, interesting, it doesn't, so nothing's overwritten the LED code and it still has power. This is actually how regular NeoPixels work as well, is that if they continue to have power but stop receiving data, they'll remain as they last were. So they just keep doing what they were doing as long as they have power. So now when I hit the A button, they should both go to, oh, cool, to 180. Now, one of them, oh yeah, servo, the servo with the plastic, which is in this case servo 1, I think. Yeah, servo 1 is a little unhappy with this situation. You can hear the gears grinding, which means that it isn't, even though all of these are sort of supposed to be able to go to 0 and 180 degrees, this one is straining. It's not quite able to go that far. So I'm going to take this down in the code a notch. And then if I push button B, they should both try to go to 0. And actually this time the metal one is humming a little bit, trying to push itself, if you can hear that. So I'm going to note that down. I'm going to change the code so that they can both relax a little bit. I'm going to say to 160. And actually, probably they can go up to 170. Unless they're like really poor quality. Okay, let's try that. Save the file. Drop it onto the microbits. It's going to reset. I'm using a Mac, so every time I do this, it complains that the disk wasn't ejected properly, because when it programs itself, it then resets. And to the Mac, that looks like I've unplugged it. And since it's a flash device, it's just like if you had a little flash drive in your computer and then you pulled it out, it's going to say, you didn't eject that, even though it ejected itself, you know. I mean, it didn't technically eject, it just turned itself off and stopped responding, so. The computer doesn't like it, but it can deal. Okay, are we done? I think we might be done. Once the amber light on the microbit stops flashing, then we're good. Okay, so this time we're going to see if they're still going to grind. Actually, we're getting a little bit of complaint, but they're both quiet now. That's good. Okay, now we're going to hit B. Oh. This one is really mad now. Why are you so mad? And the other one is, wow, why are you mad? I just made your life easier. That's so weird. Could be something else. The wiring looks good. I don't know what your problem is. But I guess I won't be able to push it even that far. That's so weird. But you know, I commonly adjust these to even 30 degrees away from their supposed limits. You just never know. I really thought I'd be able to handle that. Re-uploading. While that goes, I'm going to see if we have any comments. No comments on Facebook. Let's see if we got anything on YouTube. I don't always check the comments because sometimes I'm doing something that's really sort of intensive, but I try to. No comments on YouTube either. If you're watching and you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, let's see how this is doing. Button A, 180 or 160 degrees. Okay, both chill with that. That's good. And 20 degrees now. That's good. Cool. Nobody's complaining. Fantastic. These two little whiny robot parts have finally shut up. Great. So now we have here the Kitronik Servo Lite board attachment for microbit with 3 AAA batteries and 2 micro servos attached. And I'm going to make a robot out of them. Not right now, but this is an excellent start. And then we can either decide to do something with the... Oh yeah, let's try and see if what happens if we try to control the LEDs at the same time as 2 servos. So I'm going to go to here. We've got this, and it's still saying brightness, which is strange to me. What if I just change that to brightness? Why? Why? Does it still... What? It doesn't convert. That must be some weird... Wait, what? Did you mean... What? Okay, so there's got to be a... Oh yeah, since it doesn't match. So it seems like... Oh, what? Brightness. Okay, yeah. It seems like over here somewhere there's something set. Where is the set brightness option? What's going on here? Oh, here we are. Set brightness. So if I put another one of these, so it's 0 to 255 brightness, that makes sense. Failed cast on null. I'm not sure what that means. They both say brightness. That's what the library is doing. Why? Okay, well, that's kind of cute, honestly. Surprising but cute. Now we have a problem, so I'm just gonna forget about that. So yeah, we've got, what do we do? So what's this code doing? Set pixel to neopixel at pin 0 with 5 LEDs as... Okay, so we're telling it that we have a strip of neopixels with 5 LEDs in it in the GRB data format. And pixel is like our name for this strip. We're going to set the brightness to 75. We're going to show a rainbow from 1 to 360 when it starts. And then immediately we're going to say rotate pixels by 1. Oh, and remember with pin P0 here, that's what the tutorial said is the, here we go, the pin for the zip LEDs, remember? Pin 0, so that's what we have in the code. Yeah, so then forever, our loop function, if we were in Arduino, this top part, the on start would be setup, void setup, and then you do all the like setup stuff that happens when you start the device. And then in Arduino, you'd say void loop, and then you'd have your code that executes forever as long as it's turned on. And instead, we just have a forever loop here. Rotate pixels by 1, and then you show, okay, cool. I wonder how we get the, whatever. So if I go copy this, thump, and then paste it in the other one. Ah! Come on. I think maybe it doesn't like to convert to JavaScript before you let everything load. Okay, so now we have... Ooh, interesting. Oh, you know what? I have to add an extension for NeoPixels, which was actually shown right there. Okay, so now we have this NeoPixel extension. It shows up here in the sort of middle of the screen there in our options. Okay, more. This is different. Interesting. I wonder if it's a different NeoPixel option. Strange. Well, we can definitely add the servo extension to this one. So this one... Oh no. Okay, I have to find a way to mash these two together. We've got the servos here. What is it under? It's not under variables. It's under here? Pins? Ah, here we go. That makes sense. So they're just using that for the servos, these advanced pins. What I can do is pull this stuff, boom, into the other one. Whee! And that should convert very easily. I'm hoping. Yes, good. So now here are our button A and button B pressing options. Hey, come here. I'm trying to drag it so that it's all visible. Got our forever loop. We've got button A. We'll throw that up there. And can we see everything? Pretty much. So if we try to save this, notice how in the left side now, where there's this virtualization of the microbit, you can see everything hooked up correctly, and it shows you how to breadboard it out if you didn't have this servo board, which is fantastic. So even if you're like waiting for this servo board to come, you can still get started and start testing your code so that when it does come, everything is groovy. Or you don't even have to have the servo board at all. So let's go and download this to the board and see if there's any timing issues or if it just works. And with this, since it involves the servos, we should be able to see immediately when it's done. Oh, yes! Okay, cool. So we've got the lights going. We've got the servos going. We've got them going the other way. Everything's groovy. Beautiful. Okay, cool. So we set up basically all the options. And then if we wanted to, we could modify the board a little bit and have a third servo controlled. That could be, for example, if you wanted to have two continuously rotating servos for it to move around, to roll around on the desk, to use as wheels, and then one on top to be like a head or something. But I'm more interested in having multiple servo-controlled parts on a robot. Speaking of which, there's another really cool companion robot in town. This is Angela Sheehan's Nova. We're going to talk about it on the show in just a bit. But it's so... Oh, you know what? Let's just go to... Oh, here we go. Yeah. Of course, we already wrote about it. Who wrote about it? Cameron Coward a week ago. It's so pretty. And if you follow Angela on Twitter, you'll see all kinds of cool stuff about Nova. Yes. Yes. So good. And then also Nick Poole has this little one that kind of like stands up. Hey! So yeah, it's becoming a whole thing. And hopefully it'll become only easier and easier for people to build their own. I hope to help with that. All right, so next up, we're going to be building a couple of sweet robots. Stay tuned. Ooh, also, we have an interview coming up with Odd J about his newest one, Dexter, which is published on Hackster. If you go to Hackster, it's featured. It's great. All right, catch you soon. Let's check for any last comments before we wrap up here. Nothing on Facebook, and, 'and nobody's talking on YouTube except in the chat. Ooh. Oh yeah, setting the threads. And yes, I'm aware that set brightness is spelt wrong. That's what's so weird about it. If you correct the spelling, it doesn't work. Isn't that strange? Well, anyway, thanks for watching. Have an awesome rest of your MCU Monday. We'll see you more throughout the rest of this week. And hack on!